Well, good morning, folks. It's Richard Gene, the fishing machine here. Currently, the surface temperature is at 76 degrees on top. Beautiful morning out here on the Coosa River. Hey, what more can you ask for? Today, well, we're going to be fishing for crappie by skipping, a technique that is, well, to me, second to none. All right, folks, I'm easing up to the first dock right here. This ain't a very deep dock at all. It's about an 8-foot dock, and that's really what I want to focus on today. Docks anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10 feet. I believe that's going to be the deal with this type of water temperature. And also, I am seeing an abundance of shad, threadfin shad, about that long, anywhere from 1 3/4 to 2.5 inches long, which is just perfect. So I believe it's going to be a good day to fish skip docks. Skipping docks, well, there's a variety of different rods that I use, but this one right here happens to be my favorite. It's a 6-foot Eagle Claw light action rod. And this is an old reel. This is a Garcia Saran. I have 2. Cannot wear them out. Had them for years, folks. 4-pound test, high vis Mr. Crappie with a crappie magnet. Now I have this jig right here with a weed guard on it that I tied on myself. Now the knot, usually I use a loop knot for crappie, but when I'm skipping docks, I would rather use a Palomar knot or a trilene knot. They're strong knots. This is a size 4 hook in this jig head, 1/32 ounce. But skipping is really an easy technique once you master it, and it takes a lot of practice. Now I'm going to let that jig fall about halfway and then bring it back really slow. I'm out of position right now. I'm going to have to turn this boat around. I just got bumped right there, but I believe it was a bluegill. But now I'm going to tell you how effective skipping is. It's so effective, you can catch as many as 100 crappie a day. If you hit the right day and the right docks, you can absolutely tear these fish up. It's that good of a method or technique. Once you master it, there's a fish right there. Got him out there. I don't know if this is a crappie or not. This is probably a bass, folks. I would imagine. Yep, a little spotted bass. Catch a lot of these right here during the day of fishing for crappie, or I do. And sometimes you can get your line broke by a big one. I guarantee you that. Oh, there he goes. There he is. Yep. First crappie the other day, and it's a black crappie. Now I'll tell you what, that fish thumped it, folks. I don't know, I don't have any idea how many crappies under this dock. I just pulled up to it, but that's about a 8.5 inch crappie, not a very big one, little black crappie. Let's let him go right here. Now this dock right here is 9 feet deep. Now this is a rule of thumb that I go by on these docks. I'm going to be fishing different depths of docks, and I'm going to be doing that on purpose. Now I always make it a rule of thumb when I'm skipping docks is if the water is, say, 10 feet, I'll let this jig fall halfway and then start my retrieve. Remember, crappie are suspending fish and they feed up. So when you do that, I believe you're in a high percentage situation, period, when it comes to skipping docks. He was a little deeper than that, something like that. But I'm going to let it fall 5 feet deep. Now on a 1/32 ounce jig, that jig's going to fall about a foot a second. And that's how I count it down. Once that jig hits the top of the water after the cast, I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's very important to do that. Come on, crappie. Thump it. There we go. He messed up. Messed up in a big way. Keeping that jig, though, at the right depth is so important. So important. That's a little black crappie. He's a fat little son of a gun, ain't he, folks? Look there, what a belly. He's got a shad in it right now, I guarantee you. That's what they're feeding on. And that's another reason for this natural color right here. Or shad type color that I'm using right here. Let's let him go. There we go. Boy, that was way too hard of a hook set right there. Way too hard, Richard. Getting a little better. Now what I'm doing right now, and there ain't no doubt about it, folks, is I'm teasing these fish into biting. That's 4 crappie off of this dock. There's more crappie under there than what I think. Okay, there's no doubt about that. Now I know that because it's a consistent bite. It's a consistent bite. Let's let him go. Little black crappie. Go on back. Okay, folks. I tell you, I've caught about 8 or 9 crappie off of this one dock. It's a 10-foot dock, and the fish are hitting anywhere between 4 feet and 5 feet deep from the surface down. But the problem with them, their eyes is way too close to their tail to suit me. So I'm going to go on out here and explore some other docks, and I'm going to look for basically the same thing, 8 to 10 feet of water, docks that have at least that much water under them, and I'm going to try to develop a pattern now. Now crappie are the same as bass. You can develop a pattern. Let's go do it. That's probably Mama Sue. She's a good woman, but she's a mean woman too. There we go. Yep. Different dock. About the same depth. Not quite. It's almost 9 feet right here. And a black crappie. But it took me a while to catch that fish, folks. It just did. I knew there's a fish under there because I keep seeing little pods of shad. Little bitty pods of shad, and that's what these fish are feeding on. Traveling close to the dock. Let's let him go. That's another thing to look for. If there's no bait, especially in these southern lakes, no bait fish, don't worry about fishing. I mean, they're going to stay around something to eat. Let's get it back up under there and see if we can catch another one. I made him bite in a different way. Okay, we're at 4 feet deep, and I just kind of teased him. Pick it up, let it fall. Pick it up, let it fall. And he was holding close to this post, real tight, which all these fish has been doing that. They're not in the midway of the dock where there's no, they're right beside the post when I catch one. So I'm just going to hold my rod tip up and let it fall back towards me real slow. See if there's another bite right there. another crappie. Almost a vertical presentation. So, you know, you got to swap up how you work your baits to continuously catch fish. You can't rely on one way. You can't rely on past history either. I've learned that. Weather conditions won't allow that. It's all about weather conditions. Another important thing is, don't fish a dock too quick. Fish all of it, all the way around it. Whether you're bass fishing or crappie fishing. Don't just make 2 or 3 casts and leave a dock. That's a big mistake. See, I just got a bite right there. It could have been a bluegill or it could have been a crappie. Let's make another cast. Couldn't tell. And the reason I fish all the way around a dock, there he is, if we can get him out of there, little fish, is because angle is very, very important, folks. You can skip up under a dock at one angle and they won't hit it, and then go to the front or to the other side, which is a totally different angle, and present that bait, and it makes a big difference. It'll trigger a bite. So let's let him go. That's a little black crappie. Now we can see them, folks. I'm here on a different dock though, but I'm gonna try to get in real close and I'll show you why these crappie are on these docks. Now, I don't know the reason why I'm not catching any big ones, not really. But do y'all see all those little shad? Those aren't thread fins, I mean shad. Those are little gizzard shad. Little gizzard shad. And they're the perfect size for crappie. Now, if you can tell, they're real nervous right now. There's a lot of little white bass about that long after them right now. There we go. My goodness. I wished you'd fight, little fella. Fighting son of a gun. I tell you what, folks, this is nothing but simple fun. Fishing is not only a sport second to none, teaches you a lot. Teaches you a lot of patience. Teach you how to be super observant, and it's just a great sport. Let's let him go. Go on back. Well, folks, I'm going to pack it in. That's the end of it for today. Caught a lot of fish today. Not no giants, but a lot of crappie. Found out what the pattern was pretty quick, how deep the crappie was, and also what to look for as far as docks. What depth of water they were sitting in, and whether or not, the question is, if they were bait fish, forage for the fish to feed on. Very, very important. Mentioned it many times. I want to say, God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for all the great comments. Thank you for all the prayers concerning me and my son and wife having the COVID-19. It was a battle. It took me 18 days to get over it, and my son is still battling it right now. My oldest son, Derek. As far as Mama Sue, 6 days, she was shed of it. She is a tough woman. I want to say God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for all the great comments. Everything y'all do, folks, I appreciate it. Hey, whoa. I'm talking about them. I will drink this Coke. I will eat beans. Cornbread and buttermilk. Whoa. And remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good for you.